everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the main two things that you lack when it comes to getting to your goals, especially fat loss. I've been talking to a lot of you and I've been able to figure out basically the biggest roadblocks when it comes to losing weight, toning up and just basically being in the best shape of your life. And I noticed that those two come back every single time. Either it's you lack knowledge, you don't know what you're supposed to do, you don't know what you're supposed to eat, what quantity, especially when it comes to protein, you don't know what exercises to do at the gym, you just have no idea what you're supposed to do to get the results you want, or you lack consistency. You may have a plan, not able to be consistent with it and do it enough, both in terms of quantity and long term, to actually see results. So for those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Flo, I'm a certified personal trainer and my mission is basically to help you reach your dream body the healthy, the sustainable way. I've done it myself, I'm doing it with clients, so why not you? So without further ado, let's get right into the video. We are going to start with the lack of knowledge aspect because this one is definitely going to make or break. You can be consistent, but if you don't know what you're supposed to do, no point in doing it. And what is more disappointing and frustrating than working so hard on your goals, but if you don't have the right tools, the right plan, it's just going to be all those efforts wasted because you're not going to get any results. So let's talk about exactly what you should do. I have an in-depth training on how to lose the weight, how I lost 20 plus pounds within 90 days, how my clients are doing it, so I'm going to link it somewhere here so you have the exact step-by-step and you actually have that knowledge. But here are a few more pointers here just to help you out. The first thing you have to know is where you're at right now. In terms of your body, if you don't know how much you weigh, for example, I know it can be triggering, but it's a good starting point, especially when it comes to figuring out your calorie deficit in the future. If you don't know how much you weigh, you're not going to be able to actually figure it out exactly, precisely, and then see results. So you have to know your body. And you also have to know what you like doing, what you don't like doing, what you have done in the past that worked, what you have done in the past that didn't work. And you just have to know what led you to this specific moment, what caused the weight gain, for example. For most people, it's, you switched from a very active life, for example, sports at school, to a desk job, and the pounds started to pile up. It can be that, but you really want to figure out exactly where you're at right now. Once you know where you're at, you want to know exactly where you want to go. I know a lot of you are like, I don't really care about the number on the scale, I just want to look good in my body. That's absolutely fine, I love it, this is one of my favorite answers. But it's always a good idea to figure out somehow some form of a good way of measuring progress. Maybe it's fitting in specific pieces of clothes that you have and can't fit really comfortably in anymore. Maybe it's energy level, maybe it's a race or weight goal, maybe it's, weightlifting goal as well. So you really want to have those sort of metrics because it's going to be easier to measure progress if you know exactly where you're going, and it's going to encourage you to actually keep going. One of my clients, I've been working with her for I think 5 weeks now. She's seen great results and she told me the biggest reason why she's still motivated after 5 weeks, which seems like a miracle now because she told me before that she would lose motivation in a couple weeks and then just quit, is because she's seeing progress. And indeed, progress is the number one motivator to actually keep going, but in order to see progress, you have to know where you're going. So, second part about knowledge, know where you want to go. Now, all you have to do is bridge the gap, right? Bridge the gap from where you are to where you want to be. Again, I have made an entire training so you know exactly what type of nutrition, exactly what type of workouts to do, but quick, rundown of what I'm gonna say. 15% deficit for fat loss, 1.2 to 1.8 grams of protein per kilo of body weight, to maintain your lean body mass and end up lean and tone. And in terms of the quality of your diet, 80-20, maybe 75-25 is a good target here, both in terms of what you eat in a day and what you eat in a week, in a month. In terms of the nutrition part, I definitely tell my clients at the beginning that the deficit and the protein are the two most important things. The rest, the amount of carbs, of fat, fibers, salt, sugar, don't matter yet. The rest doesn't matter because I don't want you to get overwhelmed with all the information. You just have to figure out what will make the biggest impact. That's how I work. You figure out what makes the biggest impact, you work on that. Once it gets fairly easier, you get to improve even more, 1% better. And then in terms of workout, I always recommend trying to work out 4 to 5 times per week. You don't really need to do more, which means 2 to 3 weightlifting sessions and 2 to 3 cardio sessions. One cardio session ideally being a HIIT workout. For example, I really love sprints, and that's something that I tend to prescribe to my clients when they do say they're ready to run. With that being said, the workouts can be about 45 minutes each. You don't really have to work out for multiple hours on end. Also, if you hate all forms of cardio and still want to do, you know, the fat loss thing, I would recommend switching the cardio for 7 to 10k steps every day, just so you maximize, you know, that total daily energy expenditure. Alright, now let's talk about consistency. And there are a few things I want to say here. The first one being, you are going to fuck up. You're going to miss a workout, you're going to get sick, you're going to, you know, have some sort of event, celebration, you're not going to be able to track your intake, for example, you're going to be over, you are going to, you know, not hit your protein or actually be in surplus, as I just said, and that's going to happen. You know, you're going to have a bad day of sleep, bad day at work, not feeling like working out, like whatever plan you have to know that at some point, it's not gonna work. That is definitely why most people actually trip, is because they figure, I'm just gonna have it perfectly laid out, and once it's perfectly laid out, I'm gonna perfectly follow it. And when you don't, like the time you trip up, because you are going to, you quit because it feels too difficult, it feels, you know, like you've messed up and you're no good, fitness is not good for you and all of that. When in fact, it couldn't be further from the truth. For example, one of my clients has a lot going on right now in terms of travels, getting ready for a wedding, her wedding for that matter, and changing job and literally moving countries. That is a lot, okay? And social events, like work events and all of that, she has a lot going on. And at the beginning of us working together, she took a few days to actually get back on track. We had to, you know, kind of talk about it before she would be able to get back on track. And at first, she kind of panicked, like, oh my god, I fucked up. What is going on? What should I do? And like, you know, in terms of, do I have to make up for it? And the way that I deal with it is just get back on track. Just don't make up for anything. You were supposed to fuck up at some point. The best thing you can do right now is bounce back as soon as possible. And now, if something happens, because obviously stuff still happens, not just for her, for everyone, she bounces back so much faster. And now without my help, I just know afterwards, oh, by the way, this happened, but now I'm all good. And this is exactly the mindset or the way you should approach it. Is the goal isn't to make up for anything, try to have it perfectly, it's just to bounce back as soon as possible. Never miss twice is my motto. I think I've read it in Atomic Habits, but I'm not sure. But the point with that is, it's just the thing that will make you keep going, because if you expect to fail and plan for the failure and plan for the mistake and kind of falling off track, it's going to be so much easier to actually get back on it, and the goal is just to get back as soon as possible. Let's talk about something that is going to make or break your consistency and is kind of slept on, and that's a pun intended, because it is sleep. If you don't sleep enough, you are going to make so little progress that it's going to be frustrating. You're going to be tired, which means you are less likely to actually follow through with the workouts because you're too tired, obviously. You are also way more likely to crave food, and not the healthy one, you know, the high carb, high in sugar, high in calorie food, because your body didn't get the energy it needed through sleep. It's going to try to get it elsewhere, mostly food. So you really want to look into how much sleep you're getting right now and know that this is really important to have that dialed in. You know, 7.5 hours to 9 hours is definitely the sweet spot that you should aim at. And it's often either 7.5 hours or 9 hours, just because one sleep cycle is 1 hour and a half. So you kind of want to build yourself up to that, and it will make the biggest difference. I've read so many studies that basically show that if you're trying to lose fat and you don't get your hours of sleep, you're going to lose more muscle mass than fat. So you definitely want to sleep. Like, who doesn't like it anyway? So just, you know, please get your sleep in. It's going to be so much easier to be consistent. Just trust me on that one. Another key thing here is to not overdo it. And I think the plan I'm giving you right here is already a very good plan to actually help you not be extreme, because it's not a crazy deficit, not a crazy workout plan. So you're probably already going to see that it is important to have a sustainable approach and focus on building long-lasting habits that are going to last even after reaching your weight goal, body goal. Because another thing here is, and I'm getting off track, but that's fine, If you plan on losing weight for like, let's say 12 weeks and then go back to your old lifestyle, the one that, you know, kind of made you gain the weight in the first place, that's how you gain the weight back. The goal with whatever you're doing right now, and what you really have to understand, is that if you are trying to lose weight now, the habits will have to stay in order to maintain the new body. So if whatever you're doing right now doesn't feel like something you want to do for the rest of your life, then it's probably not the right method to get to your body goal. And now let's talk about motivation, because it is so linked to consistency. Motivation is pretty much bullshit in the sense that it's a feeling, it's gonna come and go. So in terms of being consistent, you have to realize that you can't rely on motivation, and you have to find ways to be disciplined. I'm pretty sure I made a video on that, so I'm going to link it somewhere. But this is definitely something to realize, is that if you lean too much on motivation, when it's gonna go, because that some days you won't feel like working out, you will not feel like eating healthy, eating your protein, eating in a deficit, and you'll still have to be disciplined enough to get to that. So you really want to keep that in mind. Motivation will not help you get to your goals. May help you get started, which is already a good start, but it's not gonna help you get to your goal. My biggest tip to actually be consistent, and that's something I've seen and heard times and times again with my clients, is having a coach. Because you are actually investing money in yourself, and that makes you want to make your money worth it. Okay, you're gonna say, I invested in myself, so I'm proving myself that, you know, I'm worth the investment, but I also have to make my money's worth, so I have to really work hard and, you know, follow the plan and make sure I'm actually getting the results that I invested my money in, right? I know that not all coaches do that, just because I've heard from my clients that not all coaches do that, but if you tell me I need to be checked on before a workout and make sure I do that, I'm gonna be there. If you tell me, no, I actually prefer if you text me after my workout, because that's when I have time, and if I know that someone's gonna check on me after, I'll be more likely to do it, I'll do that too. And anyways, we have weekly calls. I've been told so many times that this is the time when you guys really have that hard look and check in with yourself of how I actually showed up to the way I should have, and definitely keeps you motivated. And having that accountability system has been so key for so many of you to actually get results like this. And that's why investing in a coach can be so key in actually not only getting the knowledge that you need and being able to tweak the strategy that I'm telling you right now, that I've shared with you, to exactly what your situation looks like right now, but also with the consistency part, because having a coach is so helpful in actually being consistent and knowing the tips and tricks and seeing exactly how you can make it fit and helping you bounce back faster. Because if something happens, you can bet that you can text me and I'll be on my phone, because I basically spend way too much time on my phone, and I'll be answering you immediately, because my clients are my #1 priority, right? So I drop everything to answer my clients when they have something, and it definitely shows, because they have been getting amazing results. With that being said, if you're someone who wants to lose 20+ pounds within the next 90 days without starving yourself, spending hours floating around the gym, doing cardio in the end that you absolutely hate, without saying goodbye to your favorite food and social events, and of course, without getting the weight back, highly suggest you book a free consultation call with me below. It's completely free, and it's just to see if and how I can support you. And if I can, I will 100% welcome you into my program. As I said, done it myself, doing it with clients, so why not you? And if it doesn't work, and if you do everything I say and you don't see the results, I will refund you in full. This is how confident I am that my method works. And with that being said, that was the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you found it valuable. I know that those two things, consistency and knowledge, are the two things that you guys lack. Like, this is just every single time. Whenever someone tells me I struggle with this, it's always coming down to one of those. So I figured out I was gonna make a video to actually help you guys out there too. So yeah, if you like it, you know, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.